Hello peeps and welcome back to Gult's Gorge. Alright, so once again I did some work off camera to get ready for this episode. First thing I did was I changed the ender tanks with dimensional transceivers from Ender.io, which they're kind of expensive to make. It takes an ender crystal, which takes an enderman's soul and 6 levels plus a vibrant crystal. For each one, you have to have 2 of them, remember. Takes an ender resonator. I've got plenty of enderman heads, so this is actually really cheap. And then an octadic capacitor, some fused quartz, some electrical steel, so it's not too bad. This is like the expensive part here. And this allows me to transport items, fluor, and power. So I hooked those up and I went into the other dimension and I spent about 5 minutes in the other dimension and I came back to a tank completely full of molten uranium. So that's a thing that exists. So we basically have, we may as well call it an infinite supply of uranium at the moment. Now, something to do with it. Well, I have a new button screen over here. Let's go down to the main reactor level. Did some work off camera getting this set up. I have not actually put anything of the reactor together yet, but I do have the basic layout that I'm going to go with. We're going to use a 15 by 15 by 15 space. Now, the actual inside of the reactor, remember, is only 13 by 13 by 13. So that's what we're basing this on. But we're going to go ahead and get started because this is going to require lots of crafting. And you're about to see why I upgraded my auto crafting system so much. I am going to need yellorium fuel rods. Not only that, I'm going to need somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,300 of them. Let's go ahead and craft 1,300 fuel rods. 7,800 iron, 2,600 graphite, 1,300 uranium. Start. Look at how fast that works. That's a thing of beauty. All right. Let's go ahead and grab the fuel rods that we have already. Let's get our wand. Let's get some reactor casing. Ugh. I'm just going to take most of the reactor casing with me. And let's go get the basic layout of this reactor setup. So, there are tons and tons of ways you can build a reactor, but I have decided that I'm going to go for a checkerboard pattern with this reactor. I was playing around with designs. I was playing around with a grid design that was something like this, all the way around, and it was okay. I was playing around with squares inside each other, and that was okay. But when it comes to just pure power, this design is actually kind of hard to beat. You don't want to have too many of the fuel rods touching each other, because for some reason that tends to make it less efficient. Which I'm not really sure why. Because you would think that would actually make things more efficient, in a way, but whatever. I didn't do the math for this, so. And then we're going to go on the inside to make just a checkerboard pattern. Now, for the inside of the reactor, there are plenty of different liquids that you can use to go on the inside of this. Me personally, I have always preferred just the resonant ender. Um, there's supposed to be, yeah, this vapor of levity, which is crafted. How's that crafted? Grains of piezosality and grains of prescience with dew of the void. This stuff is supposed to be just as good, if not better, than the ender liquid, but this is a pulsating crystal to get 1. This is a prescient crystal, which is a vibrant crystal and a shulker soul from the end to get 1. And then I have no idea how to make dew of the void. So, yeah, this stuff, we're not going to mess with that. It's way too expensive for what we're doing. If we were doing a creative mode build, or if we were doing something where we had access to near limitless resources easily, we might play with that, but right now, no, we're not going to mess with it. Okay, reactor casing. I actually want to get some reactor glass because I want the front of this thing to be open. Fuel rods are all done. Actually, did I teach this thing reactor glass? Yes, I did. Let's go ahead and get 100. We'll go ahead and get 200 reactor glass. I taught the system how to make all of the components and everything in between, so it knows how to make everything I need. Let's go ahead and get the fuel rods out. And I'm going to put the reactor casings away for the moment so that we can get all of the fuel rods out so that I can go place the fuel rods while that crafts. Main reactor get. And here we can just use the unbreakable wand to stack this thing up. Now I do want to have a point of reference as to where to stop. I'll have to double check and make sure that all of this took. Okay, that should be where I need to stop, right? If I come down here, I shouldn't see any gaps. I don't see any gaps, so I think we're good. I have made way too many of these fuel rods. Oh well. We'll use them eventually. Or not. Maybe we won't. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. The nice thing is we're in a position now where it really doesn't matter if we ever use these things or not because we've got resources to burn. Okay, we'll go ahead and get our 200 reactor glass. We'll go ahead and put all of those away. And I'm going to need to get the final pieces. We need a reactor controller. We need a redstone flux tap. We need 2 access ports. We're going to need some control rods, but I don't know exactly how many we need yet. And I'm going to need a reactor computer port, because I am eventually going to interface this thing with a computer system. Probably sooner rather than later, to tell you the truth. That's red net, that's redstone. Alright, let's go and place the front and the components of this thing in. The front, I want to be just straight reactor glass all the way across. And then, of course, we want to have the reactor casings going up, but we're going to use the glass up the front here. And that should be about correct. Now that we've got that done, we will use the wand to raise the casing on this side. And I'm out of casings, so we'll come over here and we'll place, oh hey, it was actually placing the whole way around, nice. And we're going to place in our pieces over here. So, right here, we're going to put the controller. Over here, let's see, where is my, right here is my access to ME. So I might actually want to have, how do I want to do this? Because I want the nice clear front. I can always run a cable over the top of it, I guess. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay, on this side, here and here, we're going to do access ports. This one is going to be set in outlet mode. Okay? Then right here, we're going to do the computer port. Right here, we're going to do the redstone, the redstone flux power tap. All right. Go back up. We'll get a few more of the reactor casings. This energy cell is, oh yeah, the energy cell is the transmitter for the small reactor. I could swear I hear a creeper walking around. Okay, anyway. Let's go ahead and grab some more reactor casing. And then I need to get a count on how many power taps I'm going to need. Okay, and we'll place like that. Good. Now I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 7 is 49. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 49 plus 36 is 85. So we need 85 power taps. Or control rods, not power taps. Oh, I'm actually out of gold? Holy shite. Okay. I do have some gold ore. I can just run that through my processing real quick. I really need to get auto processing set up. I went ahead and put some water in the floor of this room. Because with all of the machinery in here running constantly, it tends to get a bit hot. So I'm trying to keep things a little bit cooler. And because there was an Enderman in here who was just kind of derping around and pissing me off. So I wanted him to go away. Okay, let's come over here. control rod, 85. We're missing 29. Missing 8. Okay, so we're almost there. Helps if I spell right. There we go. Well, watch this. I mean, it's amazing how fast this thing crafts. I really, really do love that. And we're done. So, we'll grab the reactor control rods. I'm going to need some more reactor casings. So we'll take what we've got left and we're going to craft about 100 more. So I got to wait for a little bit of gold. Apparently I need to get some more gold. Let's go ahead and get the digital miner out. Grab the advanced power cell, and I'm just going to pop it down right here, probably. See if there's any gold around here to be dug up. Oh yeah, there's a little bit. While that runs, actually, no. While that runs, I'm going to grab some of the gold out and get it going through the processor. I really need to set up auto quarrying and auto processing of resources, because I have a lot of ore that I haven't done shit with. But power has always kind of been a stopgap for me. I've been constantly afraid of running out of power. And when your entire base runs on an ME system, running out of power is not only inconvenient, sometimes it's ridiculously hard to recover from. No. Come back here. Would really love to know why my headset is doing the crackling thing again. It used to do it. And then it stopped, and now it's doing it again. I have no explanation. I'm getting a little bit of lag here and there too when I place these blocks, because it has to stop and rethink about the multi-block every time. Of course, this lag is nothing compared to what's going to happen when I fill the thing, I'm sure. Because it's not going to like filling this thing. Alright. That's all done. Come up here, we'll get the rest of our casings. And then there's one other thing that I need to get. Go ahead and craft our 100 casings. I'm going to need to get some buckets. Probably just like 2. Still have a crushed ice bucket from when I was cleaning up someone's base. And we're going to need a crescent hammer. Boink. And let's see, what did I do with that? In here, I have a portable tank that is full of 84 buckets of resonant ender. Resonant ender is used as the coolant for our reactor. So we'll fly up here, plant this down, and we'll start dipping buckets out. And we need to place the buckets one level down. "84 buckets should be enough. Although admittedly placing these buckets is kind of a pain in the ass. Kind of wish this is one of those things that I could have done off camera, but I wanted the reactor build to be on camera. And you guys know how I am about cuts. I try not to cut unless I absolutely have to. On the bright side, I'll have a little bit of resin and ender left over probably. Probably should have grabbed more buckets than this. Let's go grab a few more buckets. A little less flying back and forth. May as well grab the rest of the casings while I'm at it. Yoink. There we go. A little less flying back and forth anyway. No. There. And I get a little bit of a lag spike every time I place a bucket because the fluid actually goes down to the bottom very, very quickly. Like, can't say ludicrous speed, but pretty close. Oh, this is definitely the most boring part of this build, if you ask me. So everything else was kind of interesting. I was like, oh, what pattern are we using? Oh, how long is it going to take to craft this stuff? Oh, we ran out of something? Let's go get it. This is just dip 6 buckets, place 6 buckets, repeat ad nauseum. I should have just about enough resin and ender. I should actually have a little more than what I need. But it's not going to be by much. It's going to be by a couple of buckets probably. Okay, let's fly up a little higher so I can see which ones I'm still missing. There's a couple there. Come on. There we go. Oh, I'm out of it. Okay. Let's see if I had enough. I think I have 1 bucket to spare. Not bad for a completely wild guess. Not bad at all for a completely wild guess. Nailed it perfectly. I couldn't have done that again if I tried. Okay, now, last step is just to go through and place all of the casings. Then we'll be ready to fuel this motherfucker up. Now, unlike the build upstairs, we are not doing an actively cooled reactor. With this particular design, in order to actively cool this thing, I would have to be producing probably a couple 100,000 millibuckets of water a tick to actively cool this monster. And with mechanism pumps, that's not something I'm wanting to try. Okay, last one is placed, multi-block is formed. Place down some torches. Let's go one more in. Should stop me from having to place any on the sides. Well, I'll still need to put some on the side, but I can put one there. And I can put one there. There we go. Well, damn it. What the shite? In all reality, it doesn't matter because I have the torch up here. If we dig out this panel right there, see we have the mega torch. Okay, let's fill this thing. Now, here is something I haven't tried. If we combine all of these together, good, that gives me the blocks of uranium from immersive engineering. That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping it wasn't going to give me the IC2 blocks, because the IC2 blocks, as far as I know, are not Ore Dictionary compatible. Okay, we'll drop down in here, and in the access port, we will drop, apparently not, a whole bunch of blocks of uranium. That's somewhat concerning that I can't drop blocks in at a time. But it's okay. I have no idea how much it's going to take to fill this thing. I imagine a lot. Yeah, we're 36% full. The fuel capacity on this thing is 4,420 ingots. But hey, getting ingots is not an issue for us anymore, is it? Restart in 5 minutes? Son of a... Well, I guess we're going to end this episode in 5 minutes, huh? Thought I planned it around the restart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this thing. I'm going to power it on and show you guys how much power it gives. It's full. It's full. We're ready. All right. You guys ready for the magic moment? We're going to waste a little bit of power and a little bit of fuel doing this because I haven't got any way to get the power out yet. But are we ready? Let's turn this thing on. 3, 2, 1. Green light. Boom! Hello, nurse. We are settling in at about 130,000 RF a tick. Look how fast it's using fuel though. That's how fast it's using fuel. And I'm also getting some really vicious spikes around it. So we're going to deactivate the thing. Oh, that's a thing of beauty. Okay, one thing I do want to find out. Let's go ahead and activate the reactor. And let's get out of here so we're not standing next to it. Come on. You know what, just take me to the ground floor. Oh, shit. Oh, we just go home. Okay, I am getting a little bit of lag with the thing running, especially when I get anywhere near it. So this might be something that I only run between episodes. Let's go ahead and shut this off. We have stabilized right around 130,000 RF a tick. I have no way to get the power out at the moment, so we're going to have to do that. I don't think I'm going to have enough time before the restart. Get a Wyvern Energy IO crystal in our crystal binder. I'm going to bind this to the input crystal. We'll drop down here. Pop you on there. Your IO mode is going to be set to inputs because you want to take in from there, and we're going to bind you to there. And that should draw all the power out, and when we turn on the power, whoa, holy crap. And this thing should actually be theoretically capable of capping that IO crystal. Or no, it's not capping the IO crystal. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to turn it off for the moment because the restart's about to happen, and I don't want this thing to be running during a restart. But holy crap, this thing burns through fuel super fast. Alright, so next steps. I need to get this thing hooked up to the ME system. So I'm going to tap into the ME network that's over there and hook this thing into the ME system. And then, holy crap. Input 11,000 RF per tick. Output 650. Nice. Okay, yeah, the restart should be hitting any second now. Let's go ahead and break these down. Put that in there. Oh, there it goes. I'm going to drop all that uranium on the ground. but I don't care. Okay, so I'm actually going to end this episode just a little bit early because I'm not going to wait for the server to come back up in order to do the rest of this stuff. But you guys have seen the reactor. It's proof of concept. It burns fuel stupid fast. For this map, I have the energy production turned down by 30%, and I have the fuel consumption turned up by 1,000%. So it uses 10 times as much fuel and only gives you 70% the normal power. Because big reactors seem a little bit easy for me, seems like it's a little bit too easy to get that much power. But, going forward, I think I'm just going to leave well enough alone. Because honestly, once you get to this point in the game, power is power. You're going to get it somehow or another. May as well make it a little easier on people. But yeah, that reactor, pretty damn nice. I'm not sure about leaving it in my base proper because I do tend to lag around it a lot. So what I might do is I might just get everything hooked up to the ME system and let that run for an hour or two while I watch YouTube to put some serious power into that cell and just run off of that power for a couple of days. And then just run the reactor on demand when we get below 10% power or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, that's for another time. This has been Night Dagger with episode 25 of Let's Play on Gult's Gorge. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the series, and I'll catch you later, peeps.